Cancer. Hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late April 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancer Collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Cancer Collective in late April as we move on out of Aries season into Taurus? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Cancer. Please, let's get these cards out. What's the vibe? What's the energy for our good friends? Oh, there we go. Nice and quick. Cool. Now, this card is very reminiscent of the Chariot, which is one of your power cards. Not in the way it looks, but the energy that it encapsulates to me. So I think for a Cancer reading, whether you're cross-watching or a Cancer yourself, this is actually a pretty good thing. It's very powerful and determined and fiery. So I think it's a great way to start off a reading. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this lovely card. So as you can see, we have this lady here kind of dressed up in what looks like battle armor, that kind of fiery, hot background, all the planets around her, and she is pointing ahead, full steam ahead. That's why it gives me that Chariot vibe. And when I see it, I think of forward movement, I think of action, I think of determination, which is actually very good. Now, for some Cancers, maybe you just have your eyes to the future, right? You know, I know in a lot of different times in life, we think about the past a lot, we think about our current circumstance. This one is looking ahead, which I think is great. Now, for some of you, that could be advice where Spirit's like, all right, your current situation is not your final destination. Let's look to the future and maybe plan accordingly. That could be part of the message here. But this just has so much fire in it where it's like, no, I'm going in this direction. There's a lot of oomph behind it. So for some of you, since it is Chariot, maybe there's a trip or something you're planning or something you really, really want to do, something you really want to get done. So I love the push. The only downside to this card is that sometimes it could be a little too aggressive. So try your best not to force things. Hopefully there's no one being a little too pushy when it comes to you. But yeah, this energy is moving straight ahead. Lots of action there. So we're going to let her do what she's got to do. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Cancer. What do we got in late April? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was centered around communication. There was a certain importance around it, and that's been a pretty consistent theme for the past several weeks, actually. But the reading itself was titled An Important Talk. Now, there's a lot of situations that one can deem important, but the main big vibe I was picking up is there was something that shouldn't be swept under the rug, something that needs to be addressed. So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Cancer in late April. What's the vibe here? Let's get these cards out. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, Page of Wands. So just like I've been saying, that fiery forward momentum action still shows up here with the page. Yeah, little communication action going on here too. But I like to start a reading with an action card. You know, for those of you that have been watching my readings for a while, you know that I always love to start with an action card. I feel like that opens things up for us. Let's get a couple more. Cool. 8 of Pentacles, same thing. A lot of push, a lot of action in this week's reading, which I think is actually very good. Let's get one more. One more here. The push, determination, and the High Priestess, which actually could be good too, because in my style, this is one of the few cards that I give to you as well. So I like her. There's a little bit of mystery involved with her, but I think it's all good. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that frames the reading and tells us how things are going to flow. And we have a pretty nice mixture. You know, usually when there's too much of one element, the reading could get lopsided. That's when things could get a little wonky. But you have three different ones here, so it's nice. It's segmented. So there might be different areas of life. But we got fire, earth, and water. Specifically, these two elements on the back end work very well with Cancer energy. So it's like comfy, cozy, if that makes sense. Now, when it comes to fire, that is the realm of action. So the suit in and of itself is about action. So the actions we take, the actions we want to take, it's all about that forward push, right? That passion, desire, motivation, energy levels. Now, fire can also deal with health and wellness as well. So whether you're feeling a little down, maybe your energy's feeling much better, it all deals with the vitality. The good thing about it, it's action and it's moving stuff forward. The downside about fire is that it could be a little explosive, right? It could be a little unpredictable sometimes, where something could look like it's going one way and then it takes a turn on us. But I'm not saying that's definitely the case. Into the middle, we have earth. Nice. This is stability and security, inward and outward. It could be day to day life, routine, ritual. It could be money, work, business, finance. For some of you, you might be ready to get down to business, right? Like that's a very work heavy, material world heavy type of energy, which can be great. The downside to earth energy is sometimes it could be a little too solid, right? Sometimes it could be a little frustrating. Sometimes it's an energy that doesn't seem like it's moving. So this could be a little bit of a tension point. It's all good though. Moving to the back end, we have water, which again, your power element, your comfort zone, and water is the matters of the heart, the inner realm, things, people, situations that we care deeply for. To say it simple, it's very creative, artistic, expressive, highly, highly intuitive. So I think it's very good, especially in a Cancer reading. And whenever we mix these two elements together, the earth and water, to me it represents blessings and abundance. So I'm liking the outlook so far. The only downside with water is that sometimes it can overwhelm us, right? Like sometimes it's just too much, and it's like I'm swimming against the current. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we got the Page of Wands. Now, I always say when it comes to all pages, they represent students and messengers. So whether it's new things, new hobbies, new tasks, it's like I'm taking in information and I'm learning it. The Page of Wands, out of all the pages, this one is amped up. It is ready to rock. It is ready to go. And that could be great. Like this could be like a burst of energy coming in. And that's something I really like about this. Now, of course, it can be a conversation. It could be a message of some kind. We're not just going to frame it as that alone, but it's important to mention. The downside with this page, like, I mean, yes, it's great. It's action. It's moving things forward. But sometimes this energy can burn itself out. Sometimes it's a little too here, there, and everywhere. Sometimes it burns the candle from both ends. It exerts too much energy and it could tire itself out. So that's just something to be aware of and watch out for in this time. And again, there is that little unpredictable factor that comes with this page too, where it's like, huh, why are you doing that? Why are you acting like that? So like there could be action going on that doesn't quite make sense sometimes. Now moving to the middle, as we get this page tucked back in by the amethyst, we have another pretty good card. We got the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this one does tie closely into like work, career, our mission. Notice we have this person at the workbench. They're building, they're working. It is very artistic and creative, which is great for Cancer energy. So now is a great time to get those inward feelings outward and turn it into something material. This is great. And again, it could just be career. But the overall theme with the Eight of Pentacles is work, diligence. Like I'm going to keep pushing. So I love this. It's like a can't stop, won't stop type of energy, which I think is really good. The downside to the Eight of Pentacles, sometimes it could try too hard. Sometimes it could push a little too hard. It's great because it could mean fixing and mending things, especially when we talk about personal connections, where it's like, oh, something's fixable. But yeah, the downside of it could just work or push way, way too hard. And with what we saw with the Oracle card, now the Page, now the Eight of Pentacles, just watch out for things like that. Like don't over pressure yourself. Don't over pressure a situation. Don't push too hard. Now, moving to the back end, we have what may be a curveball, depending on what comes out with it. We have the beautiful High Priestess. Now, classically, this is a card that connects to Pisces, so maybe you have some Pisces placements yourself. I give it to all water signs. So I give this to you as a power card. I give it to Scorpio and Pisces. And the High Priestess is the matron of psychics, intuitives, and tarot readers. She often shows up. And listen, everyone knows Cancers are very intuitive at baseline, but your energetic sensitivity could be heightened in this time. You might be getting a lot of intuitive waves hitting you. So like you might want to follow your gut when it comes to certain things with the High Priestess. She is a keeper of knowledge. That's one thing I love about her too. Like it's great for spirituality and spiritual practice and learning. Great stuff here. The downside to the high priestess is she can represent the unexpected, the unknown, because she knows all these things, but she's very hush hush quiet. So sometimes could she be secretive? Yeah, she can be. Or could it just be something we don't quite see yet? Absolutely. That's a big thing. So there could be something surprising or unexpected on the back end. And we'll see. Is it a result of all this energy pushing in the front? Maybe. But I feel very optimistic about what we're seeing so far, Cancer. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Cancer, please? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that page. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Page of Wands time. Why is the page here? Thank you. Yeah, this energy is just ready to do something, ready to just make something happen. So we have the Four of Swords in reverse. Now, for those of you that have been feeling like a little tired, a little exhausted, a little off, if you haven't been feeling like yourself, I really like this energy. To me, it feels like a bounce back, right? Because remember what I was saying about the burst of energy that we had in the very beginning, the burst of energy we get with the page. Now we have the Four of Swords in reverse, where it's like, yeah, no, I'm ready to work. I'm ready to push and make this happen. So I love the effort and I love the action. The only thing I really want to keep a close eye on is what we have at the end here, because like this, the fire air combination, that's very explosive. So in the best possible sense, this could be explosive action in a good way, where it's like, wow, I just made a lot of progress in a short amount of time. That's very, very possible. There could be some explosive action and movement in a situation where it's like, it's a whole 180, right? Explosive, big results real quick. My only caution with this Four of Swords, because usually this is a card that's resting, recuperating, taking a minute, very slow, taking a break. When it's in reverse underneath this Page of Wands, it's like just completely out of the blue. And again, this doesn't have to be you. This could be someone you're connected to as well. Like this Page of Wands and this Four of Swords, it's like, oh, okay. Like, where'd that come from? It's like a sudden burst of energy or action coming from someone. So I think it's good. If you are having a little bit of an energetic bounce back, if you're feeling better than you have been recently, this is all good. This is all good. And I feel like it's an energy that should be leaned into while you have it. So we're going to keep moving. Explosive action, pretty simple. Let's see what the Eight of Pentacles has. I really want to get to the High Priestess now. So why is the Eight of Pentacles here? Quick. Two of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I like this. I like this. So usually the Two of Swords is an energy of confusion, indecision, not really knowing what to do or how to handle something. So it's an energy that could feel stumped. So when I see it underneath the Eight of Pentacles, it's like, oh, I don't have confusion anymore. I know what direction I need to go. I know what I need to do here. So it's like I have a roadmap, I have a plan, I have a strategy. So I think that's great if there are any situations that have been bugging you where you feel very up in the air about it, where there's been confusion or indecision or unknowns. This Eight of Pentacles with the Two of Swords is like, I'm working through it, I'm working past it, which is really good. Now, for some Cancers, I'm not sure whether this is advice or an energy that you're actually in. When I see the Eight of Pentacles with the Two of Swords in reverse, it's like, I'm just going to keep myself busy. So that might be an energy that you embody in this time, where it's like, I'm keeping myself busy, 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 busy. It's like I'm keeping myself distracted. I'm not giving myself a lot of time to sit, think, and brood over something. So again, for some of you, that might be advice. For some of you, that might just be what you're in. Or it could be someone else where it's just like busy, 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 busy. It's like I always have something on my plate, always have something on my agenda. I don't feel there's any potential burnout, which I think is good. But yeah, with this combination up here in the front, there's just a lot of action, a lot of busyness. And I feel like it can be a good thing, actually. So it's like a welcome distraction. Let's go in on the High Priestess. We'll see what she has. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. Yeah, this energy, it's like I'm working through this or working with this. I think that's good. Let's see what the High Priestess has. What is she doing here? Hopefully it's not a wild curveball. We'll see, though. Okay. Yeah, good. Very good. Three of Swords in reverse. Notice we have all the swords underneath, which I think is very telling, because You remember I was speaking about all the elements. Now we have all the elements showing, but underneath the surface, a lot of swords. And what do swords represent? They represent the mindset, the mind state, how we logically plan things out, and how we analyze things, and how we take on information. So I actually think this is really good. If you've normally been the type to like overthink things, or like your mind's been going a lot lately, all the swords in reverse is actually a good thing, because it's like I'm getting out of my mental space into the physical. Now, the high priestess, again, she does have that mystery with the three of swords in reverse underneath it. It's like something just does the trick. Because remember, we saw this explosive action in the front. By the time we get to the back, it's like, oh, I feel better. That must have worked. So, again, whether it's an action you're taking, whether it's an action someone else is taking, there's something, a situation or problem that I'm suddenly not as bothered by it as I was. So that's another good thing. If there's something that's been bugging you, nagging at you, it's like, oh, I suddenly feel better. It's like, oh, that kind of worked itself out. So I could see this as like an unexpected win or victory of any kind, right? Because we have the action, we have every element. So these things could pop up in a lot of different ways. I just feel better out of the blue. So to me, it feels definitely like an unexpected win. We're getting out of the mind and getting into the physical, which I think is really, really great. So overall, I feel like this week's reading is pretty good, Cancer. It's like a very nice, energetic weather forecast for you. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. And again, if you're a cross watcher, this bodes well as well. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we have the Page of Wands with the Four of Swords in reverse. This energy is ready to rock, ready to go. Did say this could be like a bounce back type of energy, feeling much more energetic and lively. Really good stuff. To me, it did feel like an explosive action coming from someone. So whether it's you just finally getting a burst of motivation and pushing something through, or if it's somebody else, I don't think it's a bad thing. It just kind of happens out of the blue. Moving to the center, we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Two of Swords. Again, we have this getting out of the mind, getting into the physical, keeping busy, busy, busy. So like there's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff happening. I do always advise to not overload your plate. Don't burn yourself out. But I don't fear that here. I feel like it might actually be a good thing where it's like I'm keeping myself busy, which is great. Moving to the back end, we have the High Priestess with the Three of Swords in reverse. Beautiful. It's like something finally clicks, something finally works. I feel better out of nowhere, which I think is great. And to me, it could just be an unexpected winner victory. So beautiful, claimable stuff this week, Cancer. Please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Cancer, please? God, Spirit Team. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card here at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Cancer? Thank you. Quick. Beautiful. I mean, the Empress, I haven't seen her show up as a shadow card in quite a long time. Now, as far as zodiac signs go, the Empress could represent Libra, could represent Taurus, big Venus energy, and we are actually heading into Taurus season, so I find that pretty interesting. She is the divine feminine goddess. She represents an attachment to nature, abundance, growth, blessings. So normally she's really great. She could be mother figures. I think of fertility, like the cup runneth over. So she's normally great. It's really hard to try to pull negatives or shadow sides out of her. But even with that being said, every card has a shadow side, even the Empress. So if there aren't any issues going on with a mother figure or something like that, the Empress herself can sometimes feel smothered in a way. So I think in this time, it's very important. So whether it's just cabin fever, whether you're feeling like, oh, things are a little monotonous, remember all the action we were seeing within the reading itself, this Empress could sometimes feel like a little trapped or cornered. So try to avoid that if possible, right? Like I know certain situations you can't avoid, but I think she's a great shadow card to be had, because when I see a card of blessings in the shadows, it's like you have no idea what you have in store, Cancer. There are beautiful blessings ahead of you. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that as well, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the April subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the April subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice winner's choice once again. At the end of the month, I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to either win their choice of the Gilded Tarot Royale, or one of the custom made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So, winner's choice. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's two simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, you can let me know down in the comments, how much do you know about the meanings of tarot cards? Are you an expert reader? Are you a beginner, intermediate? Do you know a lot? Do you know a little? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. YouTube changed it. And yeah, that's where it'll be, my friends. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.